Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So sorry I haven't posted in the last couple of weeks. I've had some friends visiting, so I was hanging out with them. But I'm back now in full effect, and I actually have a really cool announcement to come back to. I just dropped a new line of merch. I'll put it up on the screen. It's probably my favorite drop, yet. It's pretty limited. After this weekend, it's gone forever, and I'm calling the first 150 people that buy something on the phone to personally say thank you. And if you do buy something, please tweet me on Twitter and show me your order so I can follow you back and DM you and say thanks. I'm going to be trying to follow and DM everybody that got something. I'm going to try my best. If I do not get to you immediately, just please be patient. I'm trying my best here to show my appreciation. But anyway, guys, today's story time is a pretty interesting one. I think it's pretty crazy. I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like if you do, and let's jump right into this. So this story time is about a relationship of mine, a very toxic one, in fact, okay? It was a pretty toxic relationship, probably one of the most toxic ones I've ever been in. Not a good thing to be in, okay? I highly recommend to never be in a toxic relationship because it's not good for you or anybody. But basically, story time takes place about a year back. I was seeing this girl for a couple of months. The first month was great, but on the second month, I started to realize things about her. I started to realize that she was a little bit on the toxic side. Sometimes when we would get into arguments, she would get really, really angry and show her anger in super unhealthy ways. You know, she wouldn't hit me or anything, but she would just yell over me, swear at me, not be rational at all, and just be really, really immature. And the first few times I let it slide, I just kind of was like, you know what? Maybe she was having a bad few days. It wasn't even that serious of an argument. We're over it now. Let's just move on. I didn't really think that hard about it. I was just trying to be forgiving and move on with my life and go back to the happy times we were having. But then things took a real turn for the worst on this one specific argument that pretty much just pushed me over the edge to break up with her. It wasn't even really an argument. It was more her admitting something to me that made me want to break up with her, and I still cannot believe this. Okay, so we were sitting on my bed just talking, and I could see it in her face. She looked really, really off, just not all there, just something was bothering her. And I was like, what's wrong? You seem upset. She's like, no, nothing, it's okay. I'm like, you sure there's nothing you want to talk about? She's like, no. I'm like, you hesitated. There's got to be something. Come on, you can trust me. And she's like, all right, look, I was at a party a few days ago, and I did something with somebody that you probably wouldn't approve of. I'm like, oh, okay. So what did you do exactly? Because that can mean a lot of things. That can mean oh, I smoked with one of my friends, and I know that you don't like me smoking, and I hope you're not mad at me. Or that could mean, oh, I met this guy at this party and fucked him. You know what I mean? That could be two very, very different things that could have a totally different reaction from me. But no, it was the worst of the two. She met some ex of hers there, and they hooked up. And the way she told me was just so ridiculous. She was like, yeah, I was at this party a few days ago, and my ex happened to be there, and we started talking, and just one thing led to another, and we ended up hooking up. I'm sorry. And her tone was just so monotone. I couldn't tell if she was serious or joking. So I started laughing because I really thought she was fucking with me. And she's like, no, Austin, I'm serious. I'm like, okay, why would you do that then? And she's like, he offered to buy me a new phone. And at this point, I started laughing again because I'm like, okay, she's really good at fucking with me. This is so funny. I actually thought she was kidding. But then she takes the back of her case off her phone, and her phone isn't cracked on the back anymore. The way her phone was is the screen was fine, but the back was all cracked. But she took the case off where it was usually covering up the cracks, and there were no cracks there. She really did get a new phone. I'm like, holy shit, you're serious? And she's like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you fucked another dude while you have a boyfriend for a new phone. And she's like, I was drunk. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house, please. Just leave. Because at this point, I couldn't even tell if she was serious or not, but I was more aiming towards serious, so I was pretty pissed off. And she's like, look, you shouldn't even be mad at me. We've not had a good relationship at all. We've been arguing so much. I'm like, okay, then dump me. Don't fuck your ex for a new phone. I think the fact that you fucked him for a new phone is probably more disrespectful than the fact you cheated on me. It's disrespectful to yourself. You got bribed, basically, to have sex with him. And you probably had to meet up with him again to actually get the phone. So that's probably another thing you're not telling me. So why don't you just leave? Because I don't even want to talk to you anymore. And she's like, whatever, Austin. I don't know what you want me to do. What's done is done. I said sorry. I don't know what else to do. And she was yelling at me, basically. And I'm like, are you seriously mad at me that I'm mad that you cheated for an iPhone? And she was like, yeah, I am kinda. And I'm like, okay, good for you. You can leave now. Have a nice day. And she goes, whatever, Austin, bye. And she gets up and just storms out of my room and out of my house to her car to leave. And I was just in such disbelief. I'm thinking to myself, like, Steve Jobs wouldn't have wanted this. Like, this is just not okay. So I immediately call my friend up because I'm just, like, in the mood to talk to someone about it. And I call up one of my good friends. I'm like, dude, I just got found out that I was cheated on for an iPhone. And he's like, what? And he knew who she was. He's like, was it her? I'm like, yeah. She hooked up with her ex because he was going to buy her a new iPhone. He's like, yo, what? That's like the first ever iProstitute. I'm like, yo, shut up. You cannot be saying that right now. He's like, what? It's true. And I just start laughing with him. And honestly, like, he was the one person I probably should have called because he cheered me up. And yeah, just overall, that was pretty much the end of it. Me and her never talked again. And that's probably the most interesting time I've been cheated on, I guess, like, for an iPhone. But yeah, moral of the story is, if you're in a toxic relationship and you don't like where you're at in it, just break up. Like, just split. Don't cheat on the other person. Don't get bribed to cheat on the other person. Like, just don't do that. Not good at all. But yeah, I thought it was just one of the craziest story times, and I thought you would enjoy this. If you guys did enjoy the story time, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your guys' story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.
Yeah. Controversy, I should worry, but I don't.